What's going on, guys? This is IwillMURKu, and today I've got my first Resurgence map gameplay. This came from the first day that the map pack came out. This was, I think, like my second game on Trailer Park, so it's a bit campy because I didn't really know what was going on still at this point, and it's Capture the Flag, which I hardly ever play, so either way, in this game I'm using the AK-47 with the FMJ attachment as my primary. My secondary is the Spaz 12 with the grip, I believe. And my perks are Scavenger Pro, Stopping Power Pro, and Ninja Pro. So there at the start, you see I went ahead and threw a Claymore on that flag just because I figured that's going to get me a kill whenever someone comes back there to grab that. But I push my way up and I make my way into this like tealish trailer over here. And I actually spend the majority of the game in this trailer. You know, like I said, it was a bit campy. I didn't have the best idea of what was going on, but, you know, in Capture the Flag, I know that most people just kind of sprint back and forth trying to cap the flag if they're playing the objective. You know, I admit I don't really play the objective too much in this game, but I don't know. I managed to do pretty well. I end up going 44-3, and I do fast forward through a few parts here and there because this was a pretty long gameplay. But you see here, I was so stoked. I thought I was about to get a triple, and then I ended up just getting one out of it. But I don't know. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the map packs, I guess. Give my thoughts on them, how I feel about them. You know, the two old maps, of course, are, you know, fan favorites, and if you played CoD 4 at all, which I played a little bit, I didn't play a lot, you know, I had like 3 games played, or I mean, not games, 3 days played on there. Nothing like this game. I'm almost to 20, I don't know, 21 or 22 days played on Modern Warfare 2 now, but yeah, so the two old maps are nice. You know, they're both good, solid maps that the community loves, which is why they brought them back. And as far as the 3 new maps go, I've heard a lot of negative stuff about Fuel and Carnival. You know, people seem to like Trailer Park, but hate Fuel and Carnival, and I'm not really sure why. Carnival, I've heard people complain that you can't really, you know, see much, like everything blends together, so it's really hard to spot your enemies, but I don't know. I enjoy Carnival. I think it's fun. I think that the map has pretty nice symmetry, you know, like the points where people like to camp, like up on that bridge or in the funhouse. There are multiple entrances, so someone can't just barricade one door and camp hardcore up in there. So I don't know. I kind of enjoy Carnival. I don't know. It's a nice little change of pace, but Fuel, I might have to kind of agree that that's probably my least favorite map out of the map pack, but I don't really have a huge problem with it. You know, it's a big map. There's that huge open area, but every game that I've played, people seem to kind of focus more toward the building area. You know, people camp out certain buildings or secure certain locations and just kind of work from those points. I haven't really seen a lot of people out there in that open area, but I don't know. I don't really mind Fuel either. Like I said, it is my least favorite of the map packs, but I don't know. I don't have a huge problem with it like I've heard some people who just absolutely despise it and can't stand it. But yeah, Trailer Park is probably my favorite map. I've had a couple other decent games on here. I had a game of regular TDM on here that I didn't happen to capture. Otherwise, I probably would have uploaded it instead just because it was a little more... It was later on after I'd played the map. I was moving around a lot more, and after you get a feel for, you know, the lanes that you should be taking and how the trailers connect, it is really a nice map. You know, there's a decent mix of close quarters combat as well as decent lines of sight, so it allows for a little bit more long range as well. And yeah, I definitely enjoy Trailer Park. So yeah, I guess that's about that for my thoughts on the map pack. You know, I still think they shouldn't really be $15. I do feel a little gypped, but whatever. Those guys are making their bank, so all's well, I guess. But yeah, back to the gameplay. You know, we've switched sides, and I've come right back to this trailer just because, like I said, I'm not really playing the objective. If I was, you know, my team's obviously taking care of that. They capped 7 flags and held them to nothing the first time through, and I think they capped 7 more in this round, and we absolutely annihilate this other team. But air support seems to do a pretty good job on this map. minus the capture the flag system, you know, where the respawn timer, I don't know, sometimes you'll respawn pretty instantly after death, but other times you're stuck on that 10-second timer, which can really be a bummer when you're in the AC-130. Like, I fast forwarded through the first one, but I think I leave the second one at normal speed. You can kind of see that there's just a lot of waiting time, a lot of time just waiting to see where those guys are going to respawn at, because you know, it takes such a long time to respawn that if you're just constantly dumping ammo, which I guess isn't really a bad idea in the AC-130 since it's on a set timer, but I've heard, if anyone can confirm this, because I've never actually taken the time to like look at video and time the chopper gunner and figure it out, but I've heard that in the chopper gunner, it kind of depends on the amount of ammo you use, how long it lasts. Like if you're just constantly firing, you'll have a shorter chopper gunner than if you know, kind of manage your ammo and just pick people off where you see them instead of just holding down that trigger button like most people say. You know, I always think it's funny in a game when I'll call in a chopper gunner and people bitch when they know I'm in the chopper gunner but they don't hear me just continually dumping. Well, just hold the right trigger, it's not that hard. Well, what's the point in holding the right trigger, you know? If there's no one out in the open to shoot, it kind of, if you're not constantly just dumping on the trigger, then it kind of lulls the enemy into a sense of security sometimes. Or if you just kind of lay off the trigger for a second, they think, hey, maybe it's safe to come out, maybe he doesn't have an angle on me, and they'll come out of their cover, and, you know, you have a better opportunity of getting them then, rather than just holding that right trigger and making people camp in a building until you're out of it. But, yeah, like I said in my last video, I am in summer school again, you know, my last 2 classes of college, so I haven't had a lot of time to play the Resurgence maps, but I am going to try to get some more solid gameplays and get them up, because I know that, you know, a lot of people want to see gameplays on these maps right now and see how, you know, people are playing them, effective tactics people have come up with for the maps. And obviously this trailer that I utilize most of the map is a pretty decent control point for the map. You have good lines of sight to both edges of the map on, you know, the left and right. If you look at it kind of, you know, the map is definitely longer than it is wider when you look at where the flags are positioned. Call those the north and south ends. You have lines to the east and west, and you can also see pretty far up to the north if the north is where the enemy flag is right now. But I don't know, yeah, this building seems to be a focus point. And even in the TDM game I was talking about, I didn't spend a lot of time in there, but the enemy team did, and I don't know, running up and getting a jump on them is a good idea, but it seems like teams kind of fight for control of that teal trailer because it is such a handy control point for the map. But yeah, this game's winding down. I went into this AC-130 with like 45 seconds left in the game, so it was about perfect for me to get everything I could out of the AC-130. And I think I end up, like I said, I think it's 44-3 this game. You know, a decent game for my second time ever playing the map, but I don't know, hopefully I'll get some more Resurgence gameplay up soon, and until then, come check out my channel, like and sub up guys, and I'll be back with more soon. Until then, take it easy.